test, if you have a 0 on a test, it kills your average. I've seen it change people's average 25 points to go from a 0 to an 80 because there's only 3 tests. Depends on what you have on your other tests. Okay? So, makeup test. When can you do it? Miss Stager's not going to be here tomorrow, so normally we have Wednesday morning tutoring. She's not going to be here for that. That's going to become Thursday morning. Since there's so little time to make up, I'm going to stay Thursday at B lunch. Okay, so you've got 2 opportunities left. Thursday morning, Thursday B lunch. Okay? Any questions on that? All right. So, you noticed you didn't pick up any papers. Probably first time all year, right? We are going to be continuing our notes from yesterday. So, get out this. Oops. Pull it up. Get out this, and we'll talk about it. Forgot I need a blank one. Is there anybody who was absent yesterday who needs one? Anybody else? Okay. So, yesterday, guys, I hate to tell you this, but today is really heavy on notes. We're going to spend probably the first hour, 25 to 30 minutes to notes, and then after that, the last 20 minutes or so working on your assignment that is due tomorrow at the end of class. This assignment here. Okay, so this is due tomorrow at the end of class. We're going to work on that, but you're going to be having trouble with it, so we're going to work on it together. Okay, so I apologize in advance. First thing I want you to do is to turn it sideways, and yesterday we did the vertical transformations. It had the f of x plus d, the number outside of parentheses, and we did the vertical stretch and compression. It had the a, the coefficient, in front of the f of x. Today, we're going to do horizontal transformations, but this is written incorrectly, so we need to correct it. Change it to where it says x minus c, and then close parentheses. It needs to be inside the parentheses or it will not be correct. It's not the correct formula. Everybody needs to be writing this down. Okay? Let's get it out, because we're going. Alright. So, since we did this yesterday, this should be a little bit easier than yesterday. And yesterday, we said that this line moved down. Today we're going to say that it's moving to the right. And the formula is going to be totally different because we're moving it to the right. Next semester we're going to be moving different shapes than lines. You can't tell it when you're moving a line whether you're moving left and right or up and down. But the state standards say we have to teach you this. So, it says that F is shifted 5 units to the right. So right here, we're going to shift it 5 units to the right. Okay, so we're moving our F 5 units to the right. Now, notice the formula right here. Yesterday, it was plus a D. Today, it's minus a C. Look right here. This is a minus. This is your equal sign. That's a minus. This is an equal sign. This is a minus. That's your part of your formula. Okay? So, right is a positive number, right? So, it says I want to move 5 units to the right. So, I'm going to put in a positive 5. I'm going to put in a positive 5. But what does it look like? It looks like a negative 5. All right. So when it looks like it's negative, okay, it's really not negative because that negative was part of the formula. When it looks like it's negative, it moves or shifts right. So it's the opposite of what you would think. Thank you, Marcus. Okay? So it moves or it shifts to the right. Now, just like yesterday, this is our original function. F of x is equal to x plus 3. Okay, I know it says plus 3, but I could be reading from my graph. It has a y-intercept. F has a y-intercept of positive 3. And so I know that that has to be a plus 3. So that's what I'm going to type in for f1 of x. What I'm going to type in for f2 of x, my second line, is this. I'm going to type in f1 of x. And what do I put in parentheses with that x? The minus 5. Okay? So let's take your calculator. Everybody pull out your calculator. And let's type it in. So we're going to escape. Remember, go to New Documents. Don't save. Add a graph. And there's where we type f1 of x. Well, they defined f1 of x for us as x plus 3, so all we do is type that. Okay? And notice my line looks very much like the dashed line there. Yours should as well. Anybody remember how to get to f2 of x? Isaac, do you remember? Tab. Wasn't Isaac, but that's okay. F2, to get to a new place to type in a function, we go to tab. And this is what I want to type in. The letter F, the number 1, parentheses, x minus 5. Be sure you put a minus and not a negative. If you put a negative, your answer is going to be wrong. It's going to multiply instead of subtract. And we put enter. And look, my graph started at the blue and it moved over to the red. How many units did it move? It moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so did that work? By putting the negative, it indeed shifted it to the right. Okay? Make a big note right here. Turn your paper sideways. And where does your number have to be, inside or outside the parentheses? Inside. So the numbers must be inside the parentheses. Because if it's outside, it's moving it up and down. Oops, I'm sorry. The numbers must be inside the parentheses. If it's outside, it moves it up and down, and we're trying to move left and right. Okay? I want to highlight one more thing here. Guys, this negative 5, that has to do with this. That negative means it moves or shifts to the right. Okay? That's the only difference in what we're doing between today and yesterday. Not hard, right? Okay? We need to go over the next one. We've got here our F. We've got here our G. So our F and our G, you can look, the arrow is telling me that I want to go to the left. You are never going to be given the problem without either having an arrow or words telling you what to do, because else you wouldn't know what to do. Okay? At least with lines. When you're given other shapes, they'll do that without telling you what to do. Isaiah. Thank you. All right. So if I'm moving left, how many units does it say? I want to shift it 3 units to the left. Shifted 3 units to the left. Isaiah, 3 units to the left, what is that going to be? What number?
-3.
Dude, shut up.
What is it, Isaiah? Positive or -3? -3. So look right here, guys. It says g of x, and that, I don't know why, it looks like a minus. It's g of x equals f of x minus, that minus is already there, and Isaiah told us we need to put a -3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's minus a -3. But what's minus and negative? What does it turn into?
Positive.
Positive. So my g of x is actually f of x plus 3. So my plus 3, I'm just going to rewrite this as a plus 3 right there. So what's positive telling me to do? What shift in which direction? Shift to the left. Okay, so let's highlight that. Our positive sign shifts to the left. Our positive 3 shifts it to the left. And I know that that's backwards of what it seems like, but that's just something you memorize. Or you look at the formula and figure it out. But for where you are right now, I just memorize it. Romeo, is this making a little bit of sense? You weren't here yesterday, so. All right, so I could just type this in the calculator. Is it going to be anything new?
No.
Okay, I'm going to skip it so we have more time to do our homework. We are going to have to type the next one into the calculator because I have to show you something, a calculator trick. All right, so this one, horizontal stretches and compressions. Let me go back to this page. Hang on. Remember yesterday we did vertical stretches and compressions? Our A was on the outside of our parentheses. Look where our number is this time. Inside. Whenever you're dealing with horizontal, whether it's moving it left and right or whether it's compressing it, it's always inside the parentheses. If it's inside, it's horizontal. If it's outside, it's vertical. Okay. So, our f of x is the function x minus 1. Our f of x is the function x minus 1. And it says that f is horizontally compressed. How do you compress a line? It's not like you can squish it in because it goes on forever, right? So it's going to change its steepness. It's horizontally compressed by a factor. That means you multiply by 2. So g of x is equal to f times, or f of 2 times x. Right here, g of x is equal to, every place there's a blank, it's 2 times x plus 1. And we need to fill in these words here too. Y is compressed, means made narrower. Compressed means you're squishing it together, you're making it narrower by a factor of 2. And y'all all know factors mean multiply, so that's why it's 2 times. All right, so let me write down what our f2 of x is going to be. f2 of x is going to equal, it's always our f1 of x, right? We always refer back to our f1 of x. This is our f1 of x. It's going to equal f1 of, and then I just take whatever in the parentheses and write it.